Greetings, everyone. This is Rockwell Spot Connection with another 100 Bullets retro review, focusing on Volume 8, The Hard Way. Now, The Hard Way actually kicks off with the 50th issue of the series, and gives us an almost formal introduction. It gives us a formal introduction to Victor. While in a bar, apparently a bar he frequents, he's known by most of the regulars, Victor tells a tale. The tale being of the formation of the Trust. And how, well, they basically told the King of England that they were working together, and they wanted the New World for themselves. The King, of course, said no. While Victor's telling his tale, however, another raider shows up. Apparently one of the sons of the bartender. He and his brother tried to pull a heist. Well, the heist went a little south. Back to Victor's story, however. After the King told the Trust to get bent, a handful of 7 operatives were recruited and sent to the colony of Roanoke. The 7 operatives killed every man, woman, and child in one night. Leaving but a single word on a tree, carved into a tree. Croatoa. We learn also that Victor was reactivated by Graves himself just before Graves went to meet with Dizzy way back in issue 1. We then pick up with Wiley. However, it turns out to be a flashback. Or actually, no, it's not a flashback. Wiley is in New Orleans. He's got the briefcase. He's talking to someone, explaining why he hates guns. Mainly because they're ringing in his ears. He explains, however, he also explains that a friend of his died that night. And that Wiley himself killed him. You get a flashback to the ride that Wiley and Graves shared into Louisiana, with Wiley being convinced to actually accept the case. There's a picture. There's other. Aside from a picture of Shepard, there's also a picture of a girl named Rose. So Wiley goes down to a bar. Bar owner's girlfriend is actually kind of nice. The bar owner himself is kind of a jerk. And so the story continues. And an old friend of Wiley's eventually shows up. Though before that happens, Dizzy and Shepard come upon Wiley in a graveyard, looking for the grave. Rose. We then learn that the person that Wiley's talking to in later portions is actually Mr. Shepard. And Wiley has no intention of shooting Shepard, but rather using a garrote on him. The two talk. However, it flashes back to the morning after Dizzy and Shepard found Wiley in the graveyard. Dizzy and Wiley have a few drinks by the river. Tells his tale about Rose. And then they see two guys chasing a woman who's clearly messed up, and then tossing a bear trap on her before dumping her in the river. They go back to the French Quarter, and Dizzy suggests they call Shepard. Wiley's not too keen on that idea. So Wiley calls up an old friend while getting more and more drunk, and then his friend shows up at the bar. Whereas we learn that Shepard and Dizzy were in town because Shepard was on business for the trust. The next day, after Wiley had met up with his friend, that is, Wiley comes to his friend's place. Apparently, barn owner is at least someone involved with Wiley's friend Homer. So the two of them basically, just kind of hang out. Wiley goes back to the bar. Back in his hotel, Wiley's brought Gabe, the actually slightly deformed trumpet player, back up to to show him the gun he has. Gabe accidentally pulls the trigger. Dizzy and Shepard, however, show up. Dizzy's told Shepard what happened, however, there doesn't appear to be any sign of things. However, Shepard believes that, yes, she is in there. Turns out, back at the bar, turns out Gabe the trumpet player's got is actually really talented with the trumpet. Apparently some guy in a suit was talking with Gabe earlier. Who knows? Maybe Gabe will get himself a record deal. So the owner of the bar is a little pissy. Apparently his wife is apparently missing. And it's in fact her that owns the bar. His girlfriend, however, doesn't very much enjoy Gabe's playing. Once he's done, Wiley tells him the hell of a tune, asks what it's called. Wiley informs him that the piece is called Blue Day for Croatoa. Which leads to Wiley punching him in the face, and of course Wiley gets run out of the bar. Dizzy then slams the owner's husband's face into the wall as well for being a jerk. However, now, Wiley is beginning to remember things. More about Rose. But things go on, and Wiley's taking Dizzy to see his buddy. Well, Dizzy has put a few things together, however. Wiley goes back up to his room while Dizzy waits in the bar, where she's met by Agent Graves, who explains that the two of them need to talk. Wiley gets a call in his room. Well, let's just say things are coming close to undone. In the alley, Wiley's buddy Homer, well, he realizes that Wiley and Dizzy saw what him and one of his other buddies were up to a few nights previously. So they're looking to make sure that they can't say nothing. The member of the trust that Shepard went to see spots Graves at one point, however, and also makes a prompt exit. Graves calls up Shepard and explains to him that Graves needs Shepard to tell Dizzy something. What does Shepard need to tell Dizzy? It's time for Dizzy to go to Graves. And then Shepard tells her his first name, Joseph. However, Dizzy tells Shepard that she's not going with him. Graves is sorry to hear that, and soon enough she'll be sorry to hear something too. And so, out by the river, Wiley and Gabriel are about to get killed by our bear trap buddies. However, Wiley does manage to take them out. But there has been a slight accident. And he blew off the lower half of Gabe's jaw. And Wiley puts Gabe out of his misery. We can get a flashback to Atlantic City, showing pretty much all of the Minutemen present. Wiley then goes back to the bar. Well, eventually. Shepard goes to talk with the agent of the trust in town. When Wiley shows up, putting down every single member of his security contingent. And now Wiley also burns down Anwar Madrid's house. And well, we're back up to the beginning. Wiley's got Shepard. He's also got Dizzy held prisoner. And we learn exactly what happened with Rose. Turns out Rose was Anwar's daughter. She was making a play against one, and she was planning to make a play against one of the other families. And in fact, it was Wiley who killed Rose. Much as Ernest killed him to do so. But he did so with the order of Shepard. At the bar, Wiley explains to the owner what's happened to his wife. And he gives the owner's girlfriend Gabe's trumpet. And then Dizzy, Shepard, and Wiley hit the road. Our final tale begins back in the prison where Loop and Lano are being held. Lano is actually training Loop when Lano, of all people, gets a phone call. Shepard. And he's dying. Shot in the chest. Turns out that after leaving on the way from New Orleans, our happy trio stopped to get some gas. Dizzy went in to pay, while Shepard and Wiley discussed things outside. And then as Dizzy arrives with everything she's buying from inside, Shepard's explaining how things worked, and finally says the word Croatoa. Leading to Dizzy shooting Shepard in the chest. Shepard jumps in the car and drives off. He then explains to Lano just what the importance of the word. Basically, the Croatoa is the means of reactivating the Minutemen before he dies in the desert. And that is where Volume 8 ends. That's it for today. First, something I should have said at the beginning. I realized there was no roundup this week. That's because none of the books on any of my lists were released. So, no comics, no roundup. It's kind of simple. Anyway, as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.